Opulent Podcast is not suitable for children of any age. Opulent Podcast is intended for mature audiences and entertainment purposes only. Hello, everyone. My name is Alberto Lara, and this is Opulent Podcasts. The secrets of the universe. Throughout our lives, we are taught to look outside ourselves to find the meaning of life. Even our scientific community directs us to look outwards towards the cosmos to find the secrets of the universe. When instead we should look inside ourselves, that is where we find the secret of the universe. The word universe is comprised of two words, uni and verse. Uni means one, and verse is from the Latin term vertere, which means to turn into. Other definitions of the word verse are a spoken word, a realm, or point of view. Therefore, the universe is one unit of consciousness, hence universe, to turn into one's own realm. Each individual is his or her own universe. Everything outside oneself is a multiverse. The same patterns that we see in nature we see in our body's development. These patterns are fractals. They are infinite patterns that build upon themselves and appear in the same proportion whether we zoom in or we zoom out. As a spiral looks the same whether we look at it close up or we look at it from far away. It keeps the same winding pattern. These fractals are referred to as sacred geometries because they exist beyond the naked eye, both on a cellular level, in the stars, and orbiting planets. Our world develops by following these sacred geometries like the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, phi, the Mandelbrot set, the Pythagorean comma, etc. These sacred geometries are constrained by constants in nature that, by their name, don't change, like the charge of electrons, the strength of gravity, the speed of light, Planck's constant, and so on. No matter the circumstance, they never change. More appealing to scientists are the fundamental constants, which don't depend on measurements like unit length per unit time. Fundamental constants are a pure, fixed, unitless scalar quantities, like pi, which is the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter, and it always equals 3.14. And the best known unitless constant, the fine structure constant, also known as the Sommerfeld constant, commonly denoted by the Greek letter alpha, and it is equal to 1 over 137. The fine structure constant is the greatest of constants that defines the way our world exists. If this number would be less or more, our world would not exist, and scientists cannot explain how it succeeded to be. Its value makes the periodic table possible, and life is made from the elements in the periodic table. According to a physicist and author, Sam Keen's research, in his book, The Disappearing Spoon, alpha controls how tightly electrons are bound to the nucleus. Alpha allows atoms to exist and to react with sufficient vigor to form compounds, balancing electrons from neither roaming too freely nor clinging too closely to their nuclei, leading scientists to conclude that the universe couldn't have hit upon its fine structure constant by accident. Theologians say alpha proves the Creator programmed the universe to produce both molecules and life. Richard Feynman, an inveterate atheist, an American theoretical physicist, and a Nobel laureate, said, quote, "All good theoretical physicists put this number on their wall and worry about it. It's one of the greatest damn mysteries of physics. You might say the hand of God wrote that number, but we don't know how he pushed his pencil." Unquote. Alpha is widely used in atomic physics to study the motions of electrons around the atoms. Alpha combines 5 constants in its equations: the elementary charge of an electron, epsilon naught, which is the dielectric permittivity in vacuum, the reduced Planck's constant, the speed of light in vacuum, and pi. The chemistry of life is determined by electromagnetism. Alpha characterizes the strength of the electromagnetic force, or the process of energy exchange formed by the spontaneous absorption and emission of light. Therefore, the fine structure constant is linked to the speed of light, c. Alpha is related to the probability that an electron will emit or absorb a photon, which is a packet of light energy. The fine structure constant also forms the golden ratio and golden angle of 137 degrees, and with it the Fibonacci spirals we see almost everywhere in nature. Human mathematics is based on the dynamic geometry of this process. The process also forms the potential for the diversity of life. It appears the fine structure constant varies across space-time. But where there is life, the fine structure constant is a precise scalar quantity of 1 over 137, enabling nature to develop the proper cosmological conditions for sturdy atoms and molecules to form life. Every molecule can exhibit a mirror image and can exist in left and right-handed forms. The unique pattern of formation in particles determines whether a molecule will be inanimate matter or life. This biased pattern of biological molecules is called handedness, and it was discovered by Louis Pasteur in the mid-1800s. Pasteur showed that life has a strong bias for molecules of only one-handedness. This property of asymmetry, antonym of symmetry, is called chirality, a Greek word for handedness. A chiral molecule is one that is not superimposed with its mirror image. Life on Earth is made exclusively of left-handed amino acids. Nature produces in abundance. When plants grow in the wild, there are a plethora of plants to choose from. There are a myriad of species of life on Earth in the air, land, and sea, of all sizes, from vegetation, gnats, bacteria, to whales. There are billions of galaxies and even more stars and planets, yet only one planet that we know of holds the adequate conditions to sustain life. Sam Keen points out in his book, given that ordinaries, as well as the immense numbers of stars and planets and the eons that have passed since the Big Bang, leaving aside any sticky religious issues, the cosmos should rightfully be swarming and teeming with life. Mark Booth explains in his book, The Secret History of the World as Laid Down by Secret Societies, that when we look at the workings of nature, we see that the same nature works in us. The roots of a tree resemble the capillaries in our lungs, and both work the same function: to extract essential elements to nourish and sustain the life force of the body. Worms are the shape of intestines, and they process matter as intestines do. The patterns in our body unfold, undergo, and develop in the same proportion celestial systems operate, from their cycles to their dimension. As we explore the fractals of the universe, it all leads back to us. Go figure, huh? But why does this matter? Well, because we are not just made of matter. We don't just exist. We are also alive in this space-time continuum. Although we are alive, we are also able to think, which makes us aware that we are. Hence the platitude, I think, therefore I am. A wise man told me, your hand is alive, but it has no clue that it's there, but you know it's there, and you know you're there. This three-dimensional construct that we live in is only a stage for our consciousness to experience. The consciousness is the greatest miracle of life because we can influence the laws of nature, matter, and even bend the laws of probability in our favor with mere intention, motive, desire, and will. And those are attributes of the human consciousness, which is whom we refer to when we say, I am. This third form of identity, or the third I, in the phrase me, myself, and I, me is a body, myself is a mind, and I is who I am. The third I is not an optical I as in E-Y-E, but I as an identity in the tripartite form of existence in a body, mind, and soul, or consciousness. The consciousness is not physically found in outer space, but it's deep within you, beyond the abysmal inner sanctuary of the mind. Way deep, more deep in there behind the curtain of your imagination. The deepest part of you where you decide to do what is right or wrong, to be good or bad, to be mean or to be nice. So you are one unit of consciousness, or one verse, in this ocean of multiverses that exist in this three-dimensional construct we refer to as space-time continuum. Each person is an iota of the complete consciousness, the complete spirit, or the Holy Spirit, which protrudes into this physical world through the medium of the mind, which is an emergent property of the brain. The brain is the central processing unit that controls this mechanical vehicle you call a body. And you can control this vehicle with mere motive, intent, and desire, at will. Your will is your I am, and your I am is your will, whereby you decide to be or not to be. In future episodes, I have spoken about the treasure map to find what we are all looking for in this labyrinth of life, which is peace of mind, fulfillment, and unwavering joy. Now, happiness means something different to everyone, but it's the same path for all of us, which is through the narrow gate, where many seek, few find, and even fewer will enter. All because they're looking the wrong way. They're taught to look outward instead of inward. Ultimately, it doesn't matter what I believe. What matters is what you believe that dictates your life. Let they who are at peace have no questions, nor doubts, nor fears. Until one is at peace, they are not free. Thank you for listening to Opulent Podcasts. Happy findings and Godspeed.